can't believe it. I still walk in there and I just feel like it's a dream. I just feel like this, how has this happened so quickly from April the 4th to the beginning of, no, April the 1st to the 1st of June, I managed to manifest my own home. Just, it's crazy.
Hey, it's Andrew, otherwise known as that guy who wrote the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. And I don't know when this is going to air, but I have another special, really special reader interview. And anyone that follows my stuff, they know there's kind of like a method to my madness, and there's always a purpose behind every interview. And I bring that up because the last interview I posted on YouTube was somebody who had like manifested a new job and a new home. And here I'm about to have another conversation with another person that manifested a new home. And if we're talking about like a YouTube algorithm or we're talking about a branding thing or whatever it might be, it's like, no, Andrew, you're supposed to give me the person that manifested love or they manifested money. We don't want another house. No, you do want another house. And the reason you want another example here is because this isn't just about manifesting a home. I kind of like cherry picked this person who was wonderful enough to reach out to me, who went through this interesting journey where her first message to me was a lot of doubt and concern over the way she was going about things that then evolved in what I believe is a very fast time, and I think you'll agree, into the thing that she'd actually wanted that she initially had doubt about when she first reached out to me. So, with that huge buildup in mind, just to put extra pressure on her, I present Miranda. Miranda, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to my YouTube channel or wherever I might add this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited this conversation. So I'm gonna try to take people watching right now like along the path here. Please feel welcome to interrupt me. And the game plan is we're gonna try to get into a scenario where they kind of just see the peaks and valleys of what happened here and when it happened, how it happened. I'm actually like opening up my notes here, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in March that you reached out to me,
It
and
was.
um, you were talking about a contest that you entered for a new home, and
I did.
you were sure it was going to happen. You were doing the visualization, and then it didn't happen. I remember this because you sent a message to my Instagram that got sent to me, and you sent a message via email per request of the my Instagram person, and you used the word gutted, and it's
Yeah,
such
I
an I
was.
think it's a really important word that speaks to people because like anyone watching this that like tried to manifest something and they did everything, they did all the visualizations, they did everything they were supposed to do, and then it didn't work out. Like, no, it was supposed to work out. And I think I know I do from my, my past when I was trying to sort this out. Everyone knows what it feels like. Like this was supposed to work this time. Andrew's book was so convincing. These other books I've read and all these other success. No, and it didn't work out. And you're like, Andrew, what did I do wrong? And I remember sending you this whole reply. And it was interesting. Like a lot of it, not a lot, but some of it was like leaning on just feel good, where I was like talking about like, who said anything actually went wrong here? For all we know, that house that you were supposed to win has a plumbing issue, or the roof is leaky, or the property's a mess. Like all you knew is you're going to win this home. You didn't know anything like about like what went wrong. Like what if the universe is saying, no, no, you're because you won a little bit, then you won like 10 pounds or $10
Yes,
bucks or
I
something.
won £10, yeah, on that specific contest.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's the raindrop. That's like, okay, you're not getting the house, but keep going because and I'm throwing in extra vernacular like this house kind of sucks and I got a better house for you. That was like my theory. And that was in March, and then I think it was July where you're like, hey Andrew, things are speeding up. And then it was August. You're like, it's done. And then it's like, here we are in September. So I'm dating this whole conversation to kind of put
Yeah.
pressure on myself to upload it faster. Anyway, I'm doing all the talking here. If you could, Miranda, like walk me through and walk everyone here through, like what exactly happened? What was the contest? What was your approach then? How did you feel? Like we'll kind of like go through this whole process and get people there.
So I entered this contest for million pound house, and I truly believed that I was going to win the house. I did everything in my power. I was practicing gratitude for all the things that I currently have. I was even emailing myself, pretending I was the company, saying that you had won the house, um, writing it down every day, almost every day. And when it didn't happen, I was quite upset. I turned to my sister and I said, I really thought, Lena, that that house was mine. I was going to win that house. And I kind of gave up for a little while, and I stopped practicing my gratitude. I got quite down, and then I started again, probably within about it was a month. It was April the 1st. I was listening to the video of the other lady that had manifested her a new job and a new house, a brand new house, a few times, and then I decided I wanted to try that. And I brought myself a notebook, and one day, I think it was April the 1st, and I started writing down in my notebook, "Thank you, I am now a homeowner." And I kept doing that over and over again, not every day, maybe every 2 days, every 3 days. But I was also practicing gratitude quite a lot. Before I would write down, "I am now a homeowner, thank you," I would write down how grateful I am with my life, with all that I have, the current home that I live in, the outdoor space for my children. So I was trying to be as grateful as I could with what I had already. And I just kept doing it over and over again. Like I said, not every day, every other day. And then after, I would say it was almost exactly 3 months, I was in my bedroom tidying up, and my husband comes in the room and he says to me, "We just had a call from the landlord who's selling the property that we're living in." And I remember at first, I felt I felt quite worried, because I just felt like I didn't feel like I had manifested it. I felt quite worried and anxious. What are we going to do? We've got a family. Then I decided to take myself on a walk, and I just remember in that walk, I was just thinking to myself, did I do this? Did I manifest this? And I believe that I did. And it took, the whole process took 3 months, um, for all the paperwork to go through, the solicitors, and here we are today. We're in our new house.
So many questions pop in my head. This is a
Yeah.
frustration of me, like, oh, I want to ask like 50 things at once. But I first want to shine a really important spotlight here, and this is part of the reason why I really wanted to interview you and share you with other people, because the first thing you tried to do was you tried to win this house.
Yeah.
You know, the universe, hand this over to me on a silver platter. And then it doesn't happen, even though the universe gives you little raindrops, like, well, here's some money to let you know that, this wasn't for nothing. You're on the right track, do something.
Mm.
And then you do something about it. You re-engage with the methods, and your reward for re-engaging with the methods is your landlord basically kicking you out. That's
Yeah.
like, okay, what's going on here, right? And I think it's really important because this is how you even call it, like, a risk that people might run. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's day 15 of Gravity of the Cosmos where I dive into this, where I talk about like the hard reset. This is like a version of a hard reset where sometimes, like, the manifesting work that you do, it might lead to a bumpy ride. And the
Mm.
universe might, because the universe knows everything. It sees this person working this and this thing happening this, and this house that you're now in right now becoming available at this time. It's like, okay, I think we're gonna have to nudge Miranda a little bit here, because this thing's gonna be perfect for her. So you didn't win this new house. It wasn't handed to you on a silver platter, and yet you have it. And I think it's really important for people to hear that example, because I often tell people you can't control when something's going to happen or how something's going to happen. And more often than not, the when and the how end up being better. But it sounds like this how, it may have been better. It certainly probably wasn't more enjoyable. But it's just a wonderful, like, here you are, you're in this new home, everything's fine. That's what you wanted. It wasn't the same pathway. And yet I believe, and I'm sure you agree with me, if you'd not done this work or gone down this road, you still would have gotten kicked out, but you wouldn't have been like in this mode of going to, like, sometimes when we're in the right mode, that's when like, okay, we're going to take action this right way and we're going to do this type of thing. As I say this, do you agree with this? Am I off on anything based on your experience of going through this?
No, I agree with you.
Awesome. So, no right or wrong answer. When you were doing the work, when you were gonna try to win the house versus the work afterwards, not knowing how things were gonna play out, did they feel different or did they feel the same? Was it the same level of ease and certainty? Do you look back on the first time and say, you know what, I had doubt, or no, no, I had 100% certainty, which is why I was so shocked when I didn't win the house. Like, how do your feelings differ, or how did they differ? The first time trying to manifest a free house and the second time trying to manifest some kind of result.
I believe I was trying too hard. I was thinking about it every day, every night. I think I became a bit obsessed with the whole process, cutting out pictures of the house, creating a vision board. I think my ego was just too powerful for me during that process. And maybe a part of me believed that I didn't deserve something like that house. Um, and then when I tried again, I feel like I was more relaxed. I wasn't thinking about it as much. I wanted it, but I wasn't obsessing over it. I just put it out there. I wrote it in my book, not every day, every other day. And I just relaxed and I just believed that by writing it in my book and also practicing my gratitude before I wrote it in my book, I believed that I was going to have a house.
Hmm.
I was
How
a
many
lot
minutes a
calmer.
day? I'm sorry, yeah.
I was a lot calmer. I wasn't as I was before. I was very tense. And then when the date was coming up, when the contest was ending, I was like kept looking at the website and seeing if I was going to be the winner. And it was too much the first time round.
Hmm. On average, if you remember, how many minutes a day were you doing manifesting methods the first time versus the second round?
So the first time, probably every day, every day. In the morning, I would go for my walk along the canal near where I live, and I would be saying it in my head. And I would also be looking down on my phone and reading what I had put in my notes, all the things I'm grateful for, and then again in the evening, I was doing it too much, I think.
Hmm.
And this time round, I wasn't. I was doing it maybe once in the morning when I woke up, not every day. And then I would also during the day, I would say it as well. Um, Thank you, I'm a homeowner, but not every day. And I was keeping myself as busy as I could, try to avoid negative conversations with other people. I was just trying to stay as positive and as happy as I could and keeping myself busy by working. And I
Hmm.
just wasn't thinking about it.
So you're articulating a version of a point that I make often, and you're actually articulating the reason why I tell people like sometimes I'll go 10 minutes, but a lot of times I say 5 minutes a day. It's like just 5 minutes a day. There's two reasons I say that. Number one, in my own experience, that really is enough. Like that's what I would do. That's what I was going probably 5 to 7 minutes a day. Back when I had when I made the huge changes in my life where everything like accelerated for me. So one reason I say that is like because it's enough. A lot of people assume like, no, I gotta do this 5 hours a day because I've got so much built up doubt over the past, 20, 30 years. Like 5 minutes, right? But another reason is like the message of 5 minutes a day is to take the pressure off. And you're
Mm.
articulating that like when you just like I think the challenge like certain people have when they're trying to manifest for the first time is maybe they realize it, maybe they don't. They're walking this fine line of caring enough to engage in the process, but being carefree and easygoing enough that they're not letting or making it define them. And they're not liking, like, it's not like a make or break. Like, it has to happen in this way. Has to happen at this time. They don't put that pressure on themselves. This, to me, what you're saying, it seems like it's articulating a point. And again, it's been blurry for a few years, but I think this is the first interview where I'm talking to someone where they had that process where they first had the too much pressure and then there was that huge disappointment and then they changed it around. And if you could,
Mm.
you mentioned your book. Could you hold it up and we'll get a
Yeah,
quick
of
look at it?
course. So this is a book.
And I remember you
Um,
sent me a couple pages.
yeah.
where it's like everything's written. Could you maybe hold that up to the camera, like
Yeah,
one of the
so
pages?
yeah, of course. So I brought a pen with this book. I didn't realize it was a pen pencil. So
Mm-hmm.
some of the words are faded. So I've tried to writ over them, but you can see where it's faded. So on the first page, I've just put what I'm grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually from one of your videos.
Nice.
So yeah, so I was saying that almost every day. And then that's the first page, and you can see where I've written over the other writing. And I did that on the 1st of April 2025. And I kept doing that, but I wasn't doing it every day. That was a second. Again, it's faded, so you can't really see
Yeah.
from the pen pencil.
Thank
And then
you.
it just, all here.
Now, that's beautiful, by the way. I love the cover.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
so first, thank you for writing over it so people can like see it more clearly. I appreciate that. Um, it's really cool because like I knew again, you sent me a couple pages. I knew what it looked like. I wanted people to see. It's really interesting. If you get a really close up that look at the book, it's written over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? It's easy
Mm,
for the mind of someone seeing that for the first time to interpret, oh, she sat for 2 hours a day and bored out of her mind, just wrote it over and over. And it sounds like that didn't happen. The only
no,
reason it looks like that is because loosely every couple days or whatever, you just added a little more and a little more. That book is the result of months, not of 1 or 2 days. And I
no,
really want to articulate that for people because in my own past, like I've written stuff down, and for me, it's always been like a hassle. It's a hassle to write it down. Everybody's different, but for you, a little bit at a time, that ends up looking like a lot. That was just a part of your process because it sounds to me, again, I don't want to put too many words in your mouth. It sounds like that felt good for you to do. Is that a fair way
it
of putting
did.
it?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Nice. Were you just inspired? Like, what was the exact phrase that you used? You said, "Thank you, I'm now an owner."
So thank you. I am now a homeowner. And
Hmm.
I said that over and over again. Thank you, I'm a homeowner. Yep.
And just digging out in the weeds for anyone that might be curious, because I know when people hear about this, they want like everything. Were you just writing that? Were you also visualizing what the home might be like? Like, what was the
Yeah.
process for you? How deep or not deep did you go every single day
Yeah.
or every other day that you were engaging this way?
So I mean, last year I did a vision board, which I have in my bedroom, and I actually forgot to bring it today. And it has a picture of the house that we're living in now, and it's very, very similar, except that the one I have in the picture is in a cream colour, but ours isn't. But it looks exactly the same with the grey door, the window in the front, the two-bedroom windows, exactly the same. So I did that last year when I first started listening to your audio.
Hmm.
And I did a vision board, and I mix it up a little bit, and I put things that I'm grateful for that have already happened, and also things that I want to happen. And what I wanted to happen was to have my own house. So that's how it started. And then then I just started writing down in my book. Um, I started writing down why I wanted a house, the reasons why. Because when I spoke to my sister, we're quite close, and she said, "Why do you want a house? What's the reasons you want a house, Miranda?" And I said, "Well, I want financial stability. I want security for my children. I want it for investment reasons." Um, and I just started visualizing and started writing down in my book the reasons why I wanted it. And then it started with "Thank you, I'm a house owner," and I kept doing that every few days.
Hmm. So we got reasons and reality method. We've got stacking method. We've got just cherry picking,
Yeah,
whatever works for you.
yeah,
And I'm bouncing around a little bit here, but again, getting back to the process, the landlord is kicking you out.
yeah.
Like what, when that happened, did you stay the course on the methods? Did you accelerate them? Did you take your foot off the gas? Did you like, oh, well, this is nice and everything, but now here's real life and I've got to like sort this out. Like when you got that news from the landlord, how did, if anything, did that affect the way you were doing the methods?
No, I continued. I continued, and of course, it was at first it was quite upsetting. there was a little bit of worry there. But after a few days, I restarted again, over and over again.
Hmm.
So yeah.
And was it was it hard work to move forward in the process for it, or did everything was it did everything unfold easily as you worked through of getting this home? Were there any obstacles? Did it surprise you how tough it was? Did it surprise you how easy it was?
It was, I think it was pretty easy, really. I mean, we started, first of all, we started looking at rentals
Hmm.
again, which I really didn't want. And in my head, I wanted a house. That's what I wanted. We first looked at one rental, and I was really against it. I said to my husband, "No, I really don't like this. I don't want to rent anymore." And then, we started having a conversation, and we said, "Well, how are we going to do this? We've got debts, as most families do." And I said, well, let's just try. What have we got to lose? Let's try, see if we can get something. And I mentioned to my dad. My dad's always wanted to help us with a house. We've tried maybe 5 times to get a mortgage, but it's never happened for us. And then I approached my dad and I said, Dad, look, the landlord's selling up. And he said, well, why don't you start looking for a house? I'll help you. I have the money saved. Well, I'll help you with a deposit. And that's when it all started, really.
Hmm.
We started looking, and we found the house on the internet, and then we contacted the mortgage broker, and the mortgage broker managed to find us someone really quickly within a few days. And I honestly thought it was impossible because we had debts, and I thought we're not going to get, we can't afford to get a house with these debts. They're not going to lend us the money. But I don't know how it happened, but they managed to find a mortgage lender that are like an adverse lender that helped people that have a few debts, and the rest is history, really.
Hmm. So again, I part of the reason I'm pulling this out of you, and thank you so much for the details, is again, I'm giving my interpretation. I'm also trying to what's the most cynical person who's going to find this video and they're gonna oh, this doesn't work and blah blah blah. And the reason I say this, a cynical person's I'm like, that just sounds like real life. Oh, lucky you, you got a dad to help, and oh, you applied for a loan. Like this all sounds like real life. And my point, again, I'm putting words in your mouth, so please tell me if I'm misrepresenting it, is well, yeah, it's real life. And that's the thing about this is sometimes the manifestation feels like absolute magic out of the blue, out of nowhere, what? And sometimes the process is just it's so ordinary. It is what it
Mm,
is. But by that same token, you wake up one day okay, that was normal, but I'm a homeowner and I wasn't just a few months ago when I was trying to make this work. And I'm
mm,
trying to articulate for people it could happen anyway. Part of it might be very ordinary. Part of it might be miraculous. All of it might be ordinary. All of it might be miraculous. Part of the magic of all this is you really don't know. And part of the frustration is you don't know until you go down this road. Until you listen, I'm just going to do a couple minutes a day. And by the way, just so everyone's clear, anyone's on YouTube here, if you don't buy my book, I have so many methods for free on the YouTube channel. So no one has to spend a dime who's watching this in order to do this. You can go on YouTube, whether it's my channel or anyone else, and find methods I'm imploring people just do this for free. Take 5 minutes and just go down this road and make sure you're enjoying it, make sure it's feeling good, and just watch what happens because this is the kind of stuff that happens. So there's nothing to sell. Well, there's something to sell, but there's nothing you have to buy. Everything's free, everything's available to you. That's the beauty of this thing. That's the reason why sometimes people don't do it. And again, what you're saying here sounds so ordinary, and yet the result and the timing of the result's miraculous because the kind of thing you did, again, you talked to me in March, and by August, so April, May, June, July, August. And I remember in July things were really good. It's in 4 months, you
yeah.
went from being gutted that this thing didn't work out. Where am I going here? 4 months. And to think of people that have been working on this for 4 years, or sadly enough, 4 decades, it can really be this simple. Anyway,
Okay.
as I'm saying this, it looked like you're about to pop and I interrupted you.
Oh no, it's okay. I think what helped for me is being really grateful for what I have.
Mm,
And you know, I at one point I remember being where we live and I really disliked it. It was before I even listened to your audio. I was unhappy. I was quite negative about the house, but I turned it around and I spoke and I in my head or out loud in private, um, how grateful I was that I had a home. Yes, it wasn't my perfect home, but it was my home and it was my children's home and it had an outdoor space and it was where my babies first came home. So I was grateful for that, for what I had. And I do believe that really helped me get what I've now got by being grateful for what you currently have.
hmm that book that you found that you're holding,
Yeah.
did you just order it online or did you see it in the store? Did that cover pop out you? Is there anything about the book that you find that was particularly interesting or just ordinary?
So I decided to go to the mall one day and I went to a cafe called Waterstones and they have books in there and I decided in a cafe and I saw the book, it popped out at me straight away. It was my sister actually did this painting for her GCSE
Hmm.
and that's why I decided that I wanted that book and I love flowers as well. I'm actually a florist by trade. So I love flowers and I always remember that painting that she painted and that meant something for me.
Hmm. I love it. So basically, whether consciously or subconsciously, every day you're engaging in this process, there's a positive association right on the cover.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. Where as you're just again going down this road and doing these methods, did you ever find yourself experimenting with different methods, or you just kind of like stayed along the same track that just felt like it was working for you?
At first I wasn't really writing them down. I was listening to audios. I was doing my morning walks along the canal and I was typing it on my phone. Um I didn't have the note. I wasn't writing in the notebook until I watched the video of the lady that manifested her home and a job.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's how I was. That was the process before. Just typing it on my notepad on my book, and on my phone, and I was just walking along the canal, just saying it out quietly as I was walking. But I found that writing, I found it more therapeutic. I found more relaxed, and I found like I could let out my emotions when I was writing it. Like when I was writing, I'm a homeowner, just visualizing myself being in that home
Hmm.
as I was writing it over and over again. And when we actually went to, when we got the mortgage agreed, I was with my husband and we walked out. My husband didn't know about this process. I didn't tell him. And he turned around and he said to me, "We're homeowners."
Hmm.
And that's the exact thing that I wrote in my book. Thank you. I'm now a homeowner.
Hmm.
And that
I
was his
love it.
exact words.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't be more imperfect and simultaneously perfect than that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Wonderful,
It
wonderful.
is amazing.
Um, you could probably tell like I'm bouncing back and forth, I'm going all over the place. Again, I'm trying to think about questions the viewer has in their mind or like, oh, what'd she do or how'd she do or this and that. As I'm asking you these questions, has there been anything just that popping into mind that you would want a reader to know, an insight or an opinion or just an experience that, well, said all this to Andrew, but one thing I haven't said yet is like, is there anything that pops in mind?
I mean, try not to obsess over it. Just just try not to obsess. Don't go too into it. Try and relax. Be as happy and as grateful as you can. Um, and that's it, really.
Awesome. Without revealing too much, are you on the road to back with these methods to manifesting other things? Are
I
you like
am.
still in the
Yes,
process?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. So this has bolstered the enthusiasm, obviously. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming just like last time, there's no pressure this time. You're just gonna go down this road and see where things go.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Any final points? Because I feel like I got hopefully enough information for the viewer to really glean some value here. Anything else popping to mind that you want to make sure we share with them before we go?
I mean, just like in the background, just feel good, be happy, surround yourself by positive, optimistic people. Um, Try not to obsess over it, and just truly believe that you deserve whatever it is that you want.
Hmm. Awesome. And as you say this, to kind of again speak for you a little, my interpretation, what you've done here is both simultaneously magical and completely ordinary. And I just that's the lesson I get from this that I want to share with people. It's like you did something that was so normal that got a result that kind of came in such a normal way. But then if you expand out and you get the 30,000 foot view, it's like, well, no, look at what happened here. And I want to remind people that it doesn't always look like this, but a lot of times it'll look like this. And sometimes it's as simple as like, all right, I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to put pressure on myself, but I am going to be engaged enough because I care enough. Again, it's walking that fine line. Like I care enough to be in this, but I'm relaxed enough and I'm trusting enough that this is not my complete identity. And the way by which it happens, the if by which it happens, the how by which it happens, does not affect me, even if there's this thing that I really want bad, because I recognize that the most valuable, useful thing I can do is not let that pressure affect me, but instead be guided and inspired by this result or by this thing, by this reality, by this experience, by this event that I'd really like to have happen in my life. But while I'm waiting for it to happen, I'm going to be grateful for everything in my life in the meantime. Both one, because, you only live once here, let's enjoy it. And two, strategically. I know if I'm doing that, it keeps things a little bit easier and a little smoother for me and helps me engage in the process that much more. That's what I kind of get out of this that I want to share with people. Miranda, thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank you for having me.
yeah, thanks
It's
for
been
sharing your story. Thanks for sharing these details. I don't know if
thank
you
you.
realize, because to me, it's just another conversation. There's somebody, remember I said this to Rachel, someone's watching this right now that's going to glean value from it. And here's a perfect example. I guarantee you, and we might never meet them, you might never hear about them, you might never hear from them. There's at least one person who's watching this right now who needed to hear this from you to give themselves permission to go down this road, and they've got something really special on the way a few weeks or a few months from now. So, on behalf of them, who might never get a chance to thank you so much, Miranda. Really grateful for
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that interview, you might want to check out my new Law of Attraction VIP Academy because we go even deeper with Miranda's manifestation there, where we've built an entire case study around her entire journey toward manifesting her brand new home. Not only will I show you the original messages that Miranda sent me when she was trying to sort all this out on her own, but for the first time ever, I will also be sharing the 9.5 minute message that I replied to her with, never even realizing at the time how she might implement my advice or that this message would ever even see the light of day and anyone other than Miranda might ever even get to hear it. But things like these sometimes have a funny way of working themselves out. And so I've made this wonderful example an extra part of my Academy exclusive course, Manifest on Easy Mode, where I cut through all the nonsense, all the barriers, and all the illusions and lies that we like to tell ourselves as to why we usually don't manifest as quickly or as easily as we could or should. Inside this group, you will also have access to my premier Law of Attraction program, Gravity of the Cosmos, a 90-day journey that I've custom designed to ensure you get 3 consecutive months of daily manifestational momentum, along with Escape Velocity, my shorter 30-day gratitude course, with all of my other top programs as well. And if that's not enough, you will be joined by a wonderful community of like-minded individuals who are already waiting for you inside the Academy and are looking forward to supporting you and cheering you on as you move forward in your own manifesting path and journey. And just to make sure that you get the opportunity to decide that this really is right for you, today I am giving you a free 7-day trial with full membership access, where you can try everything out for a full week before deciding if you would like to stay as a permanent official member. Make sure you act on this soon, though, because only roughly the first 300 members who officially join will get the original founder members rate before the prices go up. So if you're going to end up joining, it's better to do it now while the membership fee is still very low. You can kick the tires, look under the hood, and give the Academy a test drive for yourself for the next 7 days simply by going to lawofattractionvip.com and starting your free trial there. I'll see you inside the group.